Hey, what's up everybody? This is JJ Lewis, and in this video, I'm going to share with you guys some of the startup costs that I've accumulated in the building of my new apparel business. And my goal is to spend only what is necessary to get my business up and running with all the systems in place so it can run smoothly and efficiently. And I want to mention that this video is not sponsored, so I don't get any compensation for any of the products mentioned in this video. So before I started this entire process, the first thing I had to do was make sure I'm being patient, because when I think about being able to create apparel and put it out there in the world, it gets me excited and I start to look too much into the future. So I had to slow myself down and focus on building my business step by step. I want to make sure I'm building a strong foundation so my business has a chance of long-term success. I also want to make sure I have things together so when my customers visit my online store, they have a wonderful and a smooth experience. So the next thing I did, I asked my wife if she would create a spreadsheet for my business so I can keep track of my expenses and my income. So whenever I accumulate an expense, I immediately record it on my spreadsheet so I don't forget to do it later. In my opinion, that's one of the most important things you can do for your business is to keep track of your expenses and your income. And you want to make sure that's accurate. That's the only way you're going to know if you're profitable or not. Okay, so the next thing I did was set a budget. That way, when I start buying supplies, I won't overspend and buy a bunch of things that I don't need at this time. And I'm a pretty disciplined guy, so not going over my budget is easy for me. Next, I started doing research on the equipment and the supplies I'll need. I started with the heat press because I knew that was going to be my most expensive upfront cost. And I'll provide the link below so you can watch the video where I talk about how I made the final decision on the heat press that I purchased. After narrowing down my decision to a few heat presses, I was able to get a realistic idea of what one will cost me. And after that, I dug deep into my research to find out what supplies I will need. So let's take a look at some of the supplies that I have so far. Okay, so we can start with my work table. This is one of the first things I bought, obviously, with the heat press, but this is the Husky work table. And I'm gonna provide a link for all of the stuff that I'm showing you guys. But this thing here, I really like. It has a couple of drawers and stuff. If I need them, you know, a couple of drawers. They close and open pretty good. And one of the main reasons I picked this one is not the longest table. I think this is 46 inches across, and I think the depth is about 24 inches, but it actually adjusts, the height adjustment. So I pull that out, and I was wondering if it would do it with the heat press on here, but it does. So you can see I'm lowering it and it's going down, but I always keep it at the maximum height, which I think is about 26 inches or something like that, but I'm not sure. But anyway, like I said, I'll have the link in there. But this is one of the first things I bought. It's really nice, it's sturdy, it can handle the weight of the heat press. It was easy to put together. I actually got a link in my heat press unboxing video where you can find out how to put this thing together. That's actually the same video I watched, and it was really good. But anyway, I got this. I think this may have cost me about $250, a little expensive, but well worth it, sturdy. I don't have to worry about it, you know, falling or not being able to support anything. So I really like this. It's on wheels. You have the option to put these feet on here if you just want it in one place, but I just never know. I may have to move my heat press, and this thing is crazy heavy. So I don't even want to have to bother with that. I just want to be able to roll it around. So that's the table. I got this I call it a heat press cover because that's what I use it for. But this thing I got off of Amazon, and it's nice, it's waterproof, it's clean, and it fits perfectly. You see how it fits. It doesn't cover everything. I don't need that, but just I like to keep it free of dust and just if any moisture happens to get in here, because I'm in my basement. You know how basements can be. But yeah, I bought this. I think it may have cost me about 10 bucks, 11 bucks, and it fit perfect on my heat press. But it's actually the seat cover protector for a lawnmower, a riding lawnmower. This actually goes over a seat for that, but it works for what I need it for. And then I can just take it off of here. It fits perfectly, nice and snug. As you can see, hard to get off with one hand. But anyway, got it off. So that's that. Set that to the side. That's the heat press. Obviously, that's my biggest expense so far. This cost me, what was it? About 1,400 bucks, $13.99.95. You know, then tax hit it. Then I bought some accessories. I bought the cover, upper platen protector, which everybody doesn't use these, but I think this is very necessary to protect that platen because it keeps dirt. And if you accidentally have a transfer and you pull this down on it, the transfer, if you have the transfer on the wrong side, and then you'll get that ink on your platen. And I think you can clean it off, but I think it's kind of a difficult thing to do. So anyway, got this on here. And one other reason I really like having this on here is that it eliminates the need for this stuff, parchment paper. Now, I still use this sometimes, depending on the situation, but this right here, this replaces you having to buy this stuff. Now, when I first started buying my supplies, I went to Restaurant Depot and bought these in bulk. And I can't remember what it was because I didn't end up buying them because I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I don't even need it. I think it did cost me it was about 50 bucks, but I had quite a few in there. And the amount that I had in there, it would have took me forever to use them. So it was pretty much a good deal, but did end up needing them. But I still got a couple sheets from my buddy because like I said, I still got some circumstances where I'll use this sometimes, but that's what this basically does. It protects your garment from burning the garment, you know what I mean? Damaging the garment, anything like that. So I bought the lower plat protector to keep that nice and clean. And yeah, so the heat press, this was my most expensive investment so far. And I love it. I love this heat press. I've only used it a little bit. I still got to put it through its paces. And the review, after I do that, I'm going to do a review. So that is coming. But so far, so good. This thing has been working like it's supposed to. Man, it's a good looking heat press. I love how it's all black. I got to think of a name for it. If you guys can think of a good name for this thing, put it in the comments for me. But I like how it's all just blacked out. Really nice. Really good looking heat press. So anyway, that's the heat press. Oh, this is a self-healing cutting board. I got this off of Amazon as well. I'm not going to try to remember the prices on this stuff because I don't want to tell you wrong. I'll just make sure I link everything in the show notes. But that's this. Here's the brand. That's the size. Okay, I got it in black. You guys see I really like black. One of my favorite colors. And I got some rulers. Didn't need all of these, but all of these came in the pack. But anyway, here's some rulers I got just in case I need to do some type of measurements. They're black, of course. I like these. These are really nice. All three came in a pack. They weren't that expensive. This Craftsman, I just needed a good tape measure anyway, you know. But I got this thing and got this off of Amazon, so this will come in handy, I'm sure. Heat tape, Very important stuff. I haven't used it yet, but you can use this to hold down your transfers. Once you get them centered and in place, you can use this heat tape to hold your transfers in place. That way they won't move or shift on you at all. And you know, then you press it and have your logo or whatever you're putting on your garment. It'll be straight and centered. But this is heat tape. This can withstand the heat that's coming off the heat press. Got this from Amazon as well. I got my shirt folder. I'm sorry, you guys. Kind of all over the place. Got my shirt folder here. Haven't used this thing yet, but I got the one by Flip Fold. Yep. So this is that. Let me open it all the way up for you. This is that. See, get a full view of it. Yep, I think it's actually might be upside down, I'm not sure. But I'm sure you guys have seen people use these things, you know. I'm not gonna try to demonstrate because I don't know. But what's important about these that I've learned, they have some where I think these sections, or one of these sections, it's detachable or something, and when you use it, you know, it kind of as far as the functionality, it just doesn't work that well, because one of the attachments, they come off, you connect it on there, and when you actually have it in use, it just, you know, it has the tendency, I think, to come off or something like that. So anyway, I got this one. You see all of these are attached. All of these are attached. Nothing is able to come off here. So from what I understand, that was a very important feature to have. That came from people that have used these and had that complaint. So anyway, got that. Got my tag, shirt tagger here to put my labels on when I need that. This is the brand that I have. I like the fact that it comes with, I think it's, yeah, it comes with 6 needles and 5,000 of those little, they call them barbs, that you use to attach your clothes tags, price tags, whatever you put on there, washing instructions, whatever you use it for. But it came with 5,000. So, hey, I bought this Cricut, little small Cricut heat press. This thing, Easy Press Mini is what it is. And I got this, you can use it for a lot of different things, but I primarily got it to put my neck labels on. So when I get my neck labels created, I can just, you know, open up the shirt. Hold on for a minute, you guys. Open up the shirt, you know, have my logo in there or my instructions, whatever I put in there, and just press it in there like that with that. So that's what that is for. I'll probably get more use out of it as I learn more, but that's what that is for. And as you see, I've bought some apparel, some t-shirts, some stuff I got just to practice on, which I've been actually practicing here lately. But I did buy this Lane 7. Pretty good quality. I like them. You know, I'm gonna learn that as well. What shirts are great quality, what shirts are good for what circumstances. So I got some of these. I bought several of them. I got a couple other t-shirts here, different brands. You know, got some hats. Really excited about these hats. I got these here, black, kind of a dad style, I guess, kind of hat. And they're just some decent little hats. I like the Velcro strap right there. And I'm gonna put logos on the front. Gonna put something on the front. haven't totally decided yet for all of them, but anyway, I got these. These weren't that expensive. I bought them before the tariffs hit. So I got them at a pretty good price. But yeah, so that's that. Oh, my lint roller. I bought a pack from Amazon here. Um, Nothing special, just a lint roller, pack of 3. This is the brand I bought. And that's it. They weren't that expensive either. And so that's pretty much it here that I've already had, the physical products that I got. So all of this stuff does add up. Not that expensive, especially when you think about the startup costs for a company. Depending on what kind of company you're starting up, startup costs could be phenomenal, and it can almost prevent you from starting that business. But with this type of business, man, if you're working a 9 to 5 right now, and you got your paycheck and you got to pay your bills and buy some food and take your lady out or whatever you got to do, you can still do that stuff and put a little bit to the side, buy your lint rollers when you got the money, buy your tagging gun, buy your Cricut, heat press, buy your tape measure, buy your self-healing cutting mat, and just buy that stuff little by little. That's what I did. I didn't buy all this stuff at once. I went on Amazon. A lot of this stuff was already in my cart. I had it in my save for later cart. And so whenever I had the money, I just picked something, I prioritized and said, this is something I probably need sooner than later. So I just bought a little bit, put it to the side, bought a little bit more, put it to the side, and now I have all of this. So I don't want you guys to think I went and bought all of this stuff at once, because I did not do that. Okay, so those are just some of the things that I bought so far, some of my startup costs for my business. And like I said, that's not too bad when you think about the startup costs for other businesses. It can get a whole lot more expensive. So, those are the things that I have. I stayed within my budget. That's something that's super important to me, is staying within my budget and not overspending. But I still have other things that I need to buy or that I need to do. I need to register my business. There's going to be some costs with that. I need to set up my Shopify website. There's going to be costs with that, obviously. Then I have to buy another work table, because this is good for my heat press. But as you can see, it's not big enough. It doesn't give me a whole lot of room. So I'm going to get me another work table that's going to give me more room to put my garments on and some of my other supplies and things like that. And I won't feel too crowded. And I don't really need anything this expensive and this durable. I mean, I want something that's going to be quality and that's going to get the job done, but I can find something I believe much cheaper. I might even look at a garage sale or on Facebook Marketplace and find another work table. But those are some of the other things I have to buy. And one other thing I need to buy is a shipping label printer. I have an idea of which one I might buy, which is probably going to be the Rollo shipping label printer. I'm not sure yet, because there's a couple others out there that I think might be pretty good. So I got to finish my research on that. So I have to purchase that. And that's going to be about it. Obviously, more apparel at some point, and then the cost to get my designs done, my DTF transfers, and stuff like that. So there's quite a few more costs. Oh, yeah, I forgot. One of the most, well, I won't say the, but one of the most important things that I need to get done, and it's actually in the process right now, is the logo for my brand, the logo for my company. I actually have that in the process now. I finally came up with a name that I really like. I'm going to save that for later. I'll share that with you guys probably in the next video, I'm sure. But anyway, it's underway. I contacted a designer and he's working on my logo right now, and I'm like, really excited about that. The cost for that, he said it could go anywhere between $100 to $500, depending on some different variables, like how many edits I want, if I add certain things, and how much time he has to put into the design. But of course, I'm going to try to keep it as close. My budget for that is probably right at 200. I don't want to exceed $200 getting that done. But I'm going to do what I need to do. So that's another cost that I'm going to incur. So besides that, I think I got it pretty well covered. There's always going to be other things that's going to come up. But right now, those are some of the initial startup costs that I have. So right now, the startup cost for my heat press and all of my supplies, I'm right at about $3,000, just a little bit above $3,000, which isn't too bad. Like I said, I'm staying within my budget. I'm kind of right in line what I thought I might would spend at this time, and I'm doing pretty good. So that's what it costs. But also keep in mind, you guys, your startup costs, it doesn't have to be that much. You can buy a heat press that's not as expensive, that's still going to work out for you. This is going to be the bulk of your costs. Like I said, this cost me right at $1,500 You don't have to spend that much on a heat press. I think you can find a good quality heat press that's going to get the job done and that's going to last some years. I think you can do that for probably around $700. Now you can go with an even cheaper heat press. You can go with a heat press that's $100, $150, $300. You got to do whatever works for you. This is just what I chose to do. I had my budget. Thank God. I appreciate the fact that I'm able to have the budget that I want to get the type of heat press and all the supplies that I want. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that to be successful. You don't have to do that to start a business. You can enter the business and stay within your budget. You can probably do everything that I'm doing. Man, if you want to go with a cheaper heat press, probably for $500 total. So just keep that in mind. So don't be intimidated by that $3,000. That's just what I chose to do. I stayed within my budget. I did what I could afford. So there it is. And as always, I appreciate you guys tuning into my channel. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. And also feel free to check out this video right here. So until next time, I just want to say God bless you all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.